Okay, so can you check that in the background? I think we're on pre-stream.
We're in the pre-stream. Hello everybody, anyone who's online for pre-stream. I think we're at 15:30 now.
Right in time, Swiss time.
Right on time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay.
Are we up?
Sure.
Let's start at the so this is live configuration, but let's start at the map the way we used to do.
Sure.
We haven't done this for a while. And you live and hand off the camera, and you can probably do a better job than me on this camera. So welcome everybody. I think it's the time to get going here. 15:30.
I think
so. We'll get going on our live stream. For those of you who are joining us, my name is Carl. I'm the president here at Escape Trailer. Samuel is behind the camera. My partner in crime when it comes to sort of getting the news out to everybody about Escape Trailer, and then helping everybody sort of come through the process so that they can move towards the deposits, and then finally having their trailers delivered. So we like to start off by kind of looking at the map and seeing where we are all over North America. I appreciate that what we're going to do today is more focused towards configuration, but we may have some people who've joined in who haven't placed a deposit and aren't going through the configuration process. So for anyone who's interested, Escape all over North America, and even a little further afield than that, but let's just say that predominantly all over North America. We do have our ambassador program, and our ambassador program is all of these customers who have purchased a trailer and have chosen to be ambassadors for Escape, and all of these customers will generally show their trailer to a potential customers and give them an objective review of Escape and the process that they go through in order to build their trailer. Of course, COVID times being what they are, some of that is not possible for people. So we opened up the whole live stream capability, and another key factor for people is the one-on-one video tour. So this is principally for potential customers. We take you through a one-on-one tour and kind of give you a sense of the configuration of the unit. And the whole purpose of that is to try and pre-educate people, so when it does come to the configuration stage, that you feel more comfortable with all the options that we have to be able to make your choices and lock in your configuration and move forwards from there. So this is kind of where we are all over North America. 2 points for people to remember. One, warranty. So we offer a 2-year warranty on the parts that Escape makes, which is principally the fiberglass shell, all the cabinetry, woodwork on the inside, and then the frame, the chassis itself, and that's most of the trailer. And of course, it's a very, very durable product, so it's going to last you well beyond 2 years. I mean, you're probably talking somewhere around 15 to 20 years for sure with this type of trailer with good maintenance. The second part then is servicing or repair of the other items that could be in your trailer. So we don't use anything particularly special or unique. A lot of the products that we use are somewhat deliberately products that you will find in other RVs, and the whole purpose of that is that you can go to authorized RV repair shops and have any of these fixed if and when they fail, because unfortunately products do fail through the life of the product. So that kind of is how we organize it and sort it out for people. If you had a warranty issue with the Escape trailer and the fiberglass on that trailer, then typically we would send you to your closest sort of RV fiberglass repair facility, which is usually boat manufacturers, or even some auto manufacturers have the capability to do that as well. So very easy to own an Escape, very easy to have any problems identified and fixed in an Escape. So without much further ado, we're going to move on. Today we're going to look at the 21C. Now a lot of the options are configuration within the trailers, certainly on the outside of the trailers, very similar trailer to trailer with some nuances depending on the layout that we have inside the trailer. We did the 21NE and the 19 because they are the same layout, albeit in different size trailers. We did those last Thursday. So today we're going to go and focus a little bit more on the 21C. And this new 21C that we have in our showroom is a very, very nice unit. It actually has some very nice fabrics and flooring and formica in it. It also has a Springfield Pedestal. So we're going to go through, we'll look at all of those items, plus I'm going to do another quick sort of zoom in on the hitch, E2 hitch. A lot of people asking questions about that. Before we go from here, I don't know if anyone remembers these, but this year at Escape, we released 7 different types of flooring, formica and fabric that you all can choose from. And we kind of, Jodie was very good at putting together some combinations first that would look nice with each other, and that of course people can mix and match all over the place with these. But these are kind of the examples of our samples that we can put together. So 7 different types, and what we're finding now is that the majority of people are choosing from the 7 types that we have, as opposed to sort of sending in custom fabric to make their own cushions, although that option still exists for people to be able to do that. Okay, we'll move on.
Very good.
Let's go see the showroom.
We just changed a few units in the showroom, so we have maybe a quick peek in the 5th wheel, just to give you an idea of the oak.
Yeah.
We usually see maple, but here you go. This is how oak would look. So it's more structure in it. It's a little darker altogether. And that's one of the 2 choices, oak or maple, that you can select.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a new 21. This is a new 21 NE that we've brought in. We're going to start off by very quickly looking at the E2 by Fastway. So this is the E2 by Fastway. This hitch, 600 pounds, 600 pounds in the tongue, 6,000 pounds towing capacity, which works perfectly for the Escape. It comes with a 2-inch ball that a customer would need already in place. And I do have customers asking me, "Oh, we've ordered the E2 hitch. Is there anything else we need to bring when we're collecting our trailer?" And the answer is no. The E2 hitch comes with the ball, comes with the assembly, and standard comes with the drawbar on it, which will typically mount in like this, and then this is into the receiver on your vehicle. You push your pin through and you put the split pin on the other side to lock it in place. So a very, very simple setup. If your truck is running a little too high with the hitch, then you would have to buy, oh man, this is heavy. You would have to buy the extender, which is just a little bit longer than what comes standard from Fastway for the E2. So you would have to buy that. And the operation of this is quite simple. We always we'll put the brackets onto the side of the trailer for you, and then you have a lever arm, and with this lever arm you essentially lever up the anti-sway bar up into place into the bracket, and then there's a pin that comes in and slides in here, sits over the top of this bar like that, and that holds it in place. Then when you're hitching up, of course, here is your lock for over your ball, and it slides forwards and down to lock your ball in place. And we covered that in an earlier video. We're not going to do that in detail on this particular one. So 21, Escape 21, as with all Escape trailers that we have, it's a top piece and a bottom piece that are molded, and then when they're still in the molds, we put the 2 molds together, and we fiberglass all the inside in behind here, and then when that's completed, we remove it from the mold, and then we put this belly band on that goes around. Belly band is not structural, it's not functional in any way, shape or form. Really all it does is just hide the cut line between the two from when they come out of the mold. Not really the cut line, it's kind of the edge of the fiberglassing that we have done. 21 Classic layout has the bed in the front, so we'll look at that, whereas the 21 NE has the bed in the rear, the same as the 19. This unit has the optional storage box. Optional storage box is a nice feature for people to have. Obviously you have the storage inside it, and on the 21C your batteries are inside, so you have a little bit more extra storage space inside the storage box. Storage box comes and it has this bit of grizzly grit that we put on the front just to make it a little more more durable, and this kind of is nice protection from rocks swinging up and smashing into the front of your trailer. So we can see this is a capacity of 100 pounds because there's no batteries sitting inside. Propane tanks, people ask about propane tanks. They also ask about filled propane tanks. So standard is you just buy the propane tanks and they're not filled with propane. And obviously in today's world, when we're shipping trailers out, generally they're not filled with propane either for transport. So if you want propane in your tanks, if you're collecting it, then you have to let us know. We need to add that to your build sheet. The propane tanks come with this auto switchover valve, and this valve will basically pull from one tank and then pull from the other, and it has a little indicator on here, and what this indicator does is, depending on which side you flip this over onto, this indicator, this will then tell you if there's fuel in this tank, and if I flip it over this way, this will tell me if there was gas in this tank. So a handy tool to help you so you don't run out of gas. Of course, an option on this trailer is the power jack, so the power tongue jack, and that's what that looks like there. So it's very simple. It'll have a light on it so we can see what we're doing if we're hitching up in the evening, which the manual one doesn't have, and then it goes up. Of course, you go up and down, so up and down.
And just to give you a quick idea on the standard manual one looks like that. So it's a crank one, and if customers wonder if that's very,
and you can see it's like just a couple of fingers. You can easily sort of pull this up.
There you go.
Or down with not much effort. It doesn't move very fast. I guess it's a very fine gear that's inside, but it takes a few turns, but very easy to manipulate and maneuver with the manual one in place. And there's an example of two 6-volt batteries in the storage box on the 19. That's the 19. So work our way around this one, Samuel.
Yeah.
I'll just do the exterior. Maybe you can do the interior.
Sure.
Then. So standard is the manual awning. Deploys very simply, and actually I have one deployed over here so we get to see what the deployed state looks like on the 17.
So, and just a little heads up, these arms can be detached down here, and then you can adjust them to the ground so you have a more vertical pole and can walk in and out on this side here.
Must admit, I never tire of kind of just feeling how just the glossiness.
Yeah.
It really is beautiful. I never tire of that anyway. This one's nice. I like the gloss black decal on these trailers. Really strikes off well against the belly band. Key considerations. So power awning versus manual awning. We've talked about this lots in the past. Manual awning is adjustable. So even though the power awning has a rain dump, or supposed to have a rain dump feature, it doesn't work so well. So manual awning is adjustable. So if you're camping in areas where you expect to have rain, or if you're a camper who expects to camp in locations where you expect to have rain, manual awning is a better choice, because at least we can take this down and then set the arm at a different height, offset it so that the water will just run off into an area you designate that it should run off into. Very easy to deploy. One person can. I can deploy this in less than 5 minutes. You can have it fully deployed, and that's not really breaking a sweat and pushing too hard. So it doesn't require a lot of force. Anybody can do it, and it's a nice solid unit. The cons against it are, I would say, more specifically when it comes to frameless windows. So you kind of want to think about packaging it up. So if we have this manual awning and a frameless window, the frameless window wants to hinge out from behind it, and it will clash. So if this had the bathroom window in, it will be clashing. It will clash against it. So you will not be able to get the windows open fully if you have the manual awning and it is retracted. Of course, the option is you just come outside, click the flick the switch and pull it open will be an option for a person to do. Okay. Moving through, the standard door just has a standard deadbolt and latch lock on it, and you can change this out and put in a keyless entry, which is kind of handy if you have kids or friends and family using the trailer. Thank you, Samuel. The wonderful feature is the external propane connection. So the external propane connection then enables you, we don't have one around here, but enables you to hook up your barbecue or your fire pit. One thing to mind you, one thing to note is that this is already regulated, this supply, so whatever you connect it to cannot have a regulator or you won't get any gas to flow out of it. So it's already regulated here, which means you would take, the regulator off whatever device you want to use. Steps, double step and single step. This is an example of the single step on this trailer. We also have a double step, which we don't have here at the moment. Double step will come down to about this height, and I think the double step is probably a little bit more suited, I would say, in two areas. Double step is more suited if you have a high lift axle on the trailer. It just kind of gives you that sort of first step height rather than it being such a big jump, especially if you have any mobility concerns. And then the other thing is, of course, if you do plan on camping in areas that are a little more uneven and rocky, then having the second step is also handy, because at least you've got a secure step before you move on to the rocky ground. So that is those couple of features. Moving around to the outside, I get a lot of questions about aluminum wheels versus the steel wheels or the steel painted wheels, and we have both. And we still don't have any in the showroom. The aluminum wheels are beautiful. They look gorgeous. They're a very nice wheel versus the standard wheel. And I think it really comes down to personal preference. You're not saving anything in fuel. You're not saving anything any other way. It really just it's personal preference on the look and feel of your trailer. But we do need to pull an aluminum one in it at some point, but sure, they're on pictures all over Escape Travel trailers. They have beautiful trailers and beautiful trailers with aluminum wheels as well. Grab handle. So anyone with mobility concerns, this is where we put the grab handle as standard. The grab handle can also come down further and straddle over, and sometimes even be lower here on this, but it kind of has to sit here. It can't sit out here. There's no structure in behind to mount this to. Porch light. So this is our porch light. Can be switched from the inside or from the outside. So switch it on and off. It's LED, of course, as with all the lights are LED. So porch light here, and some people do take their porch light and move it down somewhere. So there are locations we can and can't do. That's where Jodie, Linda, and Melissa come in. They really are our product configuration specialists, and generally, I mean, they know infinitely more than I do about what is possible or what people have done in the trailers, because really there are a lot of potential options a person can go through. This trailer has framed windows, not the frameless windows. Framed windows are all sliders and double glazed. So all this package of windows. It's also standard in the trailer. This is a very standard sort of trailer pack. It's got the framed windows and the standard manual awning in place. Moving our way back, standard again is your outside power that we have on there. So you can do your 110, 120 off of that. This is a access hatch. Always good to have access hatches. I think for the cost, they're not that expensive. Then putting more access hatches on is a good idea. Always handy to be able to load your stuff from the inside, from the outside. And of course they're all lockable as well. So that's your lock. The lock will be there on this trailer. If you like, there's a slight curve on here. So you have this on here. It will pull in and seal as well, and then of course we can reverse the catch on the other side of this if you wanted to pull it in just a little bit tighter if you wanted a NASA seal on there. Marker light at the rear. This is a location for your an optional 12 volt and USB receptacle that we can put in here, and I believe in some cases the ZAMP port can also go down this side. Yeah, did I get that wrong?
No, I was just thinking that I believe we have two locations even here. One is there and one is a little further up for those USB. So depending on where you see yourself sitting and charging your mobile phone. And on this occasion, hello to everyone who's joining us. So we have people joining us here. So if you haven't joined us yet, you can join us on Twitch.
Join us on Twitch, and you can obviously just watch what's going on, or you can be involved in the chat and ask questions. And of course, we have our team on the other end there answering all your questions. So I don't get to see the questions. We just sort of present the product and talk through the features, so you can really see what a lot of this is about. Nothing really to talk about on the range hood vent. It is what it is. It doesn't change. That's the way it is. You close it off if you're traveling. Oops, sorry, Samuel.
No worries.
I'm always trying to. There we go. So that locks that off. Not much to see around the back. The back of this trailer, obviously full-size spare, and this one has the rear view camera on it, which is wireless, and then it also a point to note there that the rear window is a fixed window. Now, because it's a fixed window, there's no book screen on it. And because there's no book screen on it, people argue you can get more light through that window. So it's hard to tell whether it's true or not. I guess we'd need a light level meter inside two identical trailers with different windows, so that we can determine which one gives more light or less light. But just so you know, that rear window is a fixed window. Let's look around the other side. There's not many options on the other side of this trailer. Again, the hatch for under bed storage. So the bed on this Escape 21 Classic is in the front.
And here's the hose that goes with the propane quick connect. Nice and long.
Very good. Work our way down. I mean, obviously we have our standard. This is all standard, so the standard light, and then the dump valves for your black and your grey, and you would connect onto one point, so you don't have to have multiple points to connect in order to dump your tanks. So you would connect on, run the hose in, pull the black, clear the black, close it off, pull the grey. So wash the pipe out as much as you can, and then go from there. A lot of people ask questions about black tanks and flush systems, and being able to put an automatic flush system into the tank. I've seen some reviews of the different flush systems. Some claim to work well, and some potentially do work better than others. The best thing is to kind of leave a bit of liquid in there, so that things don't really get to dry and harden. So you want some liquid in there to let it slosh around, so it kind of keeps everything suspended, so you can flush it out. It's kind of the best approach. This one comes with TV cable ready, so when you're at the campsite you can screw in and have TV. Nothing really to see here. This is just the intake for the fridge and the vent for the fridge, and then your stereo. This one has a stereo. Down this side, we'll just keep working our way through. This is our hose fill for our tanks, so we fill up our tanks if we're going off boondocking, whatever. And then city fill, so if we're at the campsite we can put our hose on to this connection. We'd like that hose to be regulated, or you might like that hose to be regulated. There's no regulator on the other side of this, so if you're at a campsite where they might have particularly high water pressure, it's a good idea to get a pressure regulator, put it on the other side of your hose, so your hose is also protected, and then screw your hose onto here. On that goes. Exit window, emergency exit window in this trailer, obviously. Well, it's the same in both trailers. It's on this side. On the rear, let's just call this an anomaly. So every trailer has one, and they all hinge open. So even though you have a framed window, this is a hinge open window as well. So you can kind of, some people say, oh, but if it's raining, you can't open the sliding windows, and therefore you can't really get air into the trailer. But you can, because you can open the emergency exit window, and it does open quite far, a little bit this far on it, which is way further than the frameless windows open. Our sewer tubes holder underneath on the rear, and then some people have the option of putting another sewer tube holder behind it. I mean, this is nothing special here. You could buy this and put it on from pretty much anywhere. Up on this side here, this one has the removable power cord. Just basically clips and pulls out. I'm not going to do it here. Just clips and pulls out, and then we're sealed all the way through into the back trailer. I think that's all the stuff here on the exterior.
Yeah, and if anyone wonders why you would want to have two of those, it's especially for those who like fishing. It's ideal for long, thin items like a fishing rod. But it's not yet on our build sheet. Do remind us if that's something you would like to have. I'd be happy to help you.
Okay.
And I'm handing over the camera to Carl.
Yes. Okay, so there's one thing I want, so anyone who is listening, who's also doing the configuration, your confirmation of your build sheet is exceptionally important. And you know, it is your responsibility. You're accountable for ensuring that anything that you have talked with Jolie, Linda or Melissa about, you are accountable for making sure that it's on there. So sometimes when we're on the phone, when we're talking, oh, let's add this or maybe not add that, and people are changing their minds. So very, very important that build sheet has that information on there. The last thing you want is your trailer to go through production, come out the other side, and you've signed off on your build sheet and it's missing something that you really wanted. So pay attention. It's a very, very important point. The other thing that's important is, especially now when we're doing trailer deliveries, that once your paperwork is done, so in other words, we're saying once you've signed off on the confirmation for your build sheet, that's it. No more adds to it. And the reason is, once we do your paperwork, it goes to customs. When your trailer goes across the border, it needs to have everything that was on that itemized list going across the border. If we try and do something and push something through and then we get caught, it's a bad day for escape, a very bad day for escape. So we don't want to go there. If the borders open up and we're able to come and collect, and suddenly a person wants to buy an RV mat or some other bits and bobs, then no problem, you can buy those in your credit card, throw it in your car, take it back across the border, and then put it into your trailer. So that's just a sort of reminder to everybody. Confirmation is very, very important, and it is your accountability to get it right and make sure that we've got it right. Maybe is a better way of saying it. It's your trailer, it's important to you, very important. Okay, Samuel, I will hand this over to you.
Perfect, there we go. Thanks, Carl. We step inside, and you may notice those colors. You have seen them before when Carl went through the 7 different color packages that we have. So this one is a very bright color code.
Beautiful. Yeah.
This is a bold one. We have this one here. I feel that customers either really like it or they choose a different one. So
almost has a very colonial sort of feel, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely. There's pattern in here. Goes together with a very bright countertop, and this Formica basically goes all across to the table, and we'll look at the table as well. This is our Springfield. We'll go to that in just a moment.
First time we've had the Springfield Springfield Pedestal installation here. So this is what that Springfield looks like, and it has a slider on it, and it can move up and down.
So the difference when you...
It's not properly locked in place.
Yeah, so this is in the open position right now, and some people ask, so what's the main difference between this optional Springfield and our standard table with the 2 legs? Really the main difference is that you cannot remove that. You have one pole that's fixed in, whereas the standard you can remove the table. And in terms of building it, it's a little different. Rather than lifting it out, we unlock those, which I've done already, and then we just press that down and lock it in place. So we're going to give this a try. Can you see from there? Okay.
I can see from there, yeah.
So we lock that down, and then we bring it here in place. Now I need to keep my hand on here because it's there's pressure underneath, and then I'll lock it in here, and that's how we, do the plan. And then so some people may find this a little bit easier than actually lifting a tabletop out. So if you're considering making your bed more or less every night, this may be something that you would enjoy. Cushions go right in there. So you see, you built your bed in no time. Okay. In terms of floor plan, this unit is ideally suited for those of you who like to stay a little longer outside. We have a lot of storage in here. Rear dinette, which is always nice in terms of view when you pull up to a campground. I will have a little peek through the storage to give you an idea of the size we are getting here. Just gonna open that up here. So this one here gives you an idea of the size and the depth of this compartment. Nice and big.
Yeah.
And we have a little more storage underneath. And on top there's another one which we can use for either storage, or we have the optional microwave that goes in here. So it comes with the door or no door if you have to.
Only in the 21C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't want anyone getting confused with that location as being available for the 19 or the NE. Not that you were confusing anybody, just if people are watching, they're going, oh, can I do that in the 19? The answer is no.
It's a fairly deep storage. So the difference I usually make is I ask customers, how are you using your unit? If you're going what we call dry camping or boondocking, meaning you don't really have power where you're going, you can't use the microwave, you can't use the air conditioning. You will need power for that. Either shore power 120 volts or bring a generator. So if customer I talk today they do usually 90% of the time without power, then I wouldn't really recommend the microwave. I would rather use this space here for storage then.
Yeah, I would have thought if you're 90% of the time dry camping, then you're probably a barbecue, or you're cooking over a fire, or you have a propane, barbecue or something.
Yeah. And on that note, we do offer the solar package. So we have a solar panel, 190 watt on the roof. We recommend to upgrade to 2 6-volt batteries so you can store all of that energy. And we also have the option of an inverter. The inverter will take that 12 volt and bring it up to 120 volts, so you can use your coffee maker or your hair blow dryer, even if you're not connected to power.
I had a customer yesterday asking, what does the solar do and what does the inverter do? Because it can be confusing what the two different things are. And then they said, well, do I need them or not? And my point was, well, all the solar panels do is charge the batteries.
Yes.
That's it. That's all they do, is charge the batteries. And then if you want that power from the batteries and you want to use it as 120 inside your trailer, then you need your inverter.
Yes.
That's what your inverter does. Yeah. But practically everything in this trailer from a living perspective is 12 volt or propane. So you can boondock, dry camp without solar. All right. You just will eventually run out of power in your battery, right? But you can do it. So if you're going for a day or a couple of days, you could do it.
Yes.
You could totally do it. You don't need it. So that's that idea. That's the kind of the opposite side of the person you were speaking to, who is so if you have someone who's a 90% campsite camper, then that other 10%, they don't necessarily need solar or an inverter.
Yeah. So a lot runs, I mean, like if you think of all the LED lights, if you just have the solar panels and the 6-volt batteries alone and have them charged well before you leave home, that already gives you an extended time that you can stay out there.
For sure.
And as you say, the solar will charge it. Yeah. I think in my case, the customer were 90% no power.
Yeah.
So for them, definitely makes sense to go with a solar package. And with the inverter, you may have noticed on our build sheet, we have those two options. Either the one that has one plug-in, that will be basically, imagine a little box with the inverter going directly to the outlet. That's your designated outlet that you can use. Or you have one where we have all the outlets except, help me which one, the one towards the microwave. I believe we don't do.
If a person is installing, I want to say, their convection oven, right. I messed this up the other day. I think we were talking about inverters and we were talking about power to plug points, and I said, if we install the convection, and I got that completely wrong. It's we can leave a space for a convection oven, but you would not power the convection oven through the inverter and the plug that's there. So we would disconnect that part because it will draw too much. It must draw too much current.
And in a nutshell, what it means for you is, if you are happy with that one outlet and you use your hair blow dryer, your toaster, your coffee machine on that one outlet, it will work fine for you.
Yeah.
But if you prefer to have the options, the comfort of saying, well, I'd like to have my hair blow dryer there, my coffee machine here, and I don't want to carry them out, I want to use that plug nearby, then go with the inverter that has, we call all the outlets.
Yeah, good. That's
a
good point, Samuel. Yeah. Okay, so we go through the rest of this one. Fridge, yeah. So standard fridge in the 21 is a 6 cubic foot fridge. Right, and of course the 21 Classic is beautiful because you can get the oven, the fridge, and the microwave. Right. The big fridge and the microwave, right, which is.
So again, a unit where you can stay out for extended period of time. You have a freezer compartment that's separate from your fridge, so loads of frozen food that you can bring. And we recommend that the day before you head out camping, put this unit, if you can, on 120 volt. We'll provide a little adapter for you, and then have the fridge on. Have it running through the night, cool it down, and charge your batteries. On this side, we see an option. If you're in the kitchen, it standard comes with 2 burners, but this has the option of a 3 burner with oven. You have more burners, and on this side here, you see the oven. Both of it is on propane. You light it up here, whereas this one you light with.
And this is the newer Dometic oven now that we have, which comes, I believe, with the optional glass top as well. So this is the steel top on this one. It comes with an optional glass top. And anyone who's discerning will notice the difference on the bars and the slight difference in these burners to what our previous Atco oven had. So this is a very nice sort of new oven that we've got.
And there's the range hood for it. This here is standard. So what we see is the levels. How much fresh water have we got? How much battery have we got? How much fresh water? Black and grey. That gives you an indication of when you have to go back to a dump station, fill up, dump, charge your batteries, and you can heat your water here with propane. And there's the option of a 2-way hot water system where we use propane, and also we can use 120 volt, which is the little button outside on the unit. There's a pump. The pump you will use when you're not connected to city, so you have fresh water on board. The pump will bring that up so you can take a shower and do the dishes.
That's right.
Keep it off if you don't need it.
Yeah.
Okay. We had questions about sinks. So this is the standard sink. This unit here has a very large kitchen counter, so we would be able to place a larger sink in here. And so what you would be doing is send us a picture of the sink that you are planning to put in, and if you can fit it, we can put that in here as well.
Yeah, yeah. The 21 Classic has the largest kitchen surface area of any of our trailers, and therefore the counter extension will be an optional item in this trailer.
And a quick peek here in the storage. So this is underneath our sink, nice and deep.
It's a space.
And this one here is not as deep. That's probably ideal for a little garbage can, canned food, things like that.
Or totes.
Yeah.
You know, those plastic Ziploc totes and stuff. Works really well. Of course, our drawers.
So you notice that some of the storage here you're giving up towards the oven, but you could still put in some maybe pans in here while you're traveling. Okay, storage up here, and there's an optional, see the rear camera here, that comes with the screen that goes in your truck, and really
that's for the backup camera.
One of the main
should be an escape on the back of there.
There should be escape, yeah.
We'll have to change that.
You can't see it very well, but one of the main features of the rear camera is really that you see the traffic in the back when you try to turn over and see what's happening there. Okay, so we looked briefly at the lights. So these dome lights in here, you can turn them on individually over here. Now I have one on, or both, and I can also turn them on the side of the unit right here. That turns them all on and off, and that's the one for the outside one. Then the unit has the dome lights underneath here in the kitchen. These ones are the manual ones. And speaking of lighting, you have when you may have noticed if you watched the recent live streams that this one doesn't have a window up front. Doesn't have the window there, so this is how it looks standard, and you get the extra
it's optional, yeah. That's a built-in shelf, so that needs to be done at time of build, because a lot of structure and we put structure in place to be able to put that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the option would be the window there. This one is a standard window right here, and we could place another window in here as an option. And speaking of this area here, this is how it comes standard. It's a nice extension if you do, maybe you're cooking, you're done with your salad, you place it quickly here. However, we can also have another cabinet right here. So that's an option that we offer. In terms of storage up here, loads and loads of storage. That's a deep storage. It goes all across this side. And then we have another option here, which is the radio. And we can have this TV ready for you.
Yeah, and the TV arm typically goes in around here.
Yeah. There seem to be more of a request for Wi-Fi boosters these days. So if you don't need a TV, but you prefer to have a Wi-Fi booster, you can provide that, and we help you with the wiring on this unit here. So bit of storage right here, drawers, and this one is your vent for the furnace. Yeah, furnace. Okay, looking at the bed. So we got a corner bed. The advantage here is I can go in and out from various angles. I can use this area. I can also use this area. So getting up at night, this is a bed where you don't potentially have to climb over your partner. You have various areas where you can get in and out. Comes with a standard hatch right here. And then you can also reach it from underneath the bed if you have some larger. So loads and loads of storage underneath your bed. There is the option of another door which will then live. Oh yeah, this one has it right here. Oops. There we go.
It's not really showing it so well, but there you go, there's the outside.
Alright, on the bathroom side, here on the side we have some little cubby holders. We only have that in the 21 Classic. So this is how it looks without the window. The window is optional, would go here and would be frosted. In terms of releasing the steam in this unit, you do have the vent, and the vent is a standard item. So is this little medicine cabinet, and this bathroom is the deepest bathroom that we have of all our trailers. So in terms of showering, depending on your height, we're about just short of 6 feet. I do touch the ceiling. I also wear shoes right now, so I would probably sit here, take a shower like that.
Very good. Beautiful.
We see speakers in the back, and those are optional, and we also have those reading lights. The reading lights, they can be placed in different locations, and every unit has we have a schematics for it. So if you're not quite sure where could I place those reading lights, or you see all these outlets and you're not quite sure are they standard or not, Jolie, Melissa and Linda, they will be very pleased to send you those schematics and go through with you where can we place outlets, reading lights or counters as well.
Very good.
Okay, looking at the ceiling, we see our Max fan right here. Max fan is again a nice feature when we don't have power connection. This will work on your batteries. And what it does, you can switch it on and off right here. Is it open? Yeah, it's open. So it works even if it rains, because we have a little hood up there, and we can change the speed to it. And we can have it air sucking in or out. There's a little button right here. When we press that one, it will stop, and then it will change directions, and now it's blowing the air in. It's a very nice feature to have, and you can have 2 of those if you like. So where we see the air conditioning here, this is an option. If we don't have the air conditioning, we have a hatch to open and close, and we can either replace that hatch with the air conditioning or with another fan like that one. One thing to bear in mind is, if you're not sure about certain items, should I have an air conditioning or not, you can always have it pre-wired and then decide later on if you add one. Just the main difference here will be adding an air conditioning later will mean you have an analog control rather than the control that controls the air conditioning and the furnace in one. I'll show you what that means. Carl can show it here next.
Oh yes, of course. So we've covered this a few times in a few different videos. This is obviously your digital thermostat, and the digital thermostat is in place when we have the air condition. When we have the air conditioning. Don't know why I was going to say power awning. When we have the air conditioning, and the digital thermostat will control both the furnace and the AC, either in heat or in cool, not both at the same time. It's a capacitive touch one, so you just gently touch it and it turns itself on. Very nice, very easy.
Okay, I'll build the bed back into a dinette.
Yeah, we did it very quickly. So as we're doing this, of course, guys, we have a few people in the showroom who are keen to jump in and have a look at the 21 Classic. Sammy will get this converted back for us. And again, we see in this unit, Samuel was talking about speakers earlier. We also have we have speakers in the dinette area as well. Yeah, nice blinds. So obviously the fabric you choose will determine the color of the valance. that you have, or valence that a person has here. And of course standard is the blinds, which we can pull down and push up. They're just on a string, a bit of friction. So we see Samuel has this back together very quickly. Excellent. Okay, Samuel, it's sit down time and see if there's any questions from the folks at home. We're just going to sort of stand here and look at the screen and see if we can see any questions coming in. So yes, the max fan is standard. Oh, Jim Norman's on. Hi, CPA Harley 2008. How are you doing? Okay.
And maybe a little note here. Last live stream we mentioned that we will be having a slight change on our webpage for the custom build, limited custom build inventory, or limited custom build units. We are still working on it, so stay tight. But if you're looking at a unit sooner than later, do give us a call. We are selling them already, so those are units for those who are new to this. Just give you a perspective. We are very much custom built, a company who custom builds units. So most of our units are built the way you like them, from A to Z. And right now we are booking for September.
Correct.
And so that's on this side of the spectrum. On the other side of the spectrum is the inventory units that we have built. They are on the lot and ready for sale. There are not so many changes you can make, but they are all sold except one fifth wheel. So we have something in between, which are upcoming inventory units that we already know how we are planning them out, and they are available a little earlier, some of which you can still make changes. So if you're thinking of starting the season a little earlier and you don't have to have all the options, then give us a call and we'll see if we find a unit for you. It's limited though. There's a fair amount of units, but it's not limitless.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have quite the same number of options that a person has in a custom build.
Yeah.
But we do generally program the unit as it's built to be highly optioned. So if we program it to be highly optioned, then we can remove options more easily than we can necessarily add options in for people. So that's a really good way for a person right now looking for a quick escape to be able to sort of get into an escape here within the next month, 2 months, without a doubt. 2 months. And if somebody's moving fast, like they know what they want and they can lock this down quickly, they can definitely be into a trailer that is built for them within a month. I don't know that any other manufacturer anywhere from an RV perspective, not with this quality of trailer, can do that type of service for people. So that's just for you guys. Great. Okay, Samuel. I know the guys are still online working away, answering questions. I will go through this again afterwards. Tom, I will give you a call. You've been on my list of people to get a call, and today there was just a couple of things I wanted to check on for you with your build. There's a couple of key things we have to talk about though. So I'll give you a call and we can go through that together. But other than that, everybody, I'd say thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Goodbye from me and
from Samuel.
Okay. Thank you guys. Escape trailer built just for you.